Everyone else, I came into diffusion filters thinking that it would make my stuff look cinematic, but not going to lie, it kind of has, if you can even call it cinematic. Makes it a little bit more filmic, takes off that edge. Now I wanted to make this video because I spent quite a bit of time and money trying to figure out which ones of the diffusion filters I really like. I have on my arsenal right now Glimmerglass 1 in a 67mm, Glimmerglass 1/4 in a 77mm, Promist 1/4, but it's a CPL, that's gonna matter, by Shortstache in a 77mm, and the last addition to the collection, a Black Pro Mist 1/8 by Tiffen in a 67mm filter thread. Now, why have all of these? One of the luxuries I enjoy spending on with camera gear, and especially since it's a hobby and now it's a lifestyle, is that I don't like using step-up rings. I don't like the look, and I'm a little bit spoiled in that regard, but I also think it saves us a lot of time when it comes to filming, because a lot of these I just leave on my filter, which is going to be another video for itself. But let's talk about it. So we're going to make this video pretty simple because everyone has their own unique taste and what they value. So I'm not going to be a smartass and try to justify each filter and which one has better diffusion, especially if you, this one is Glimmerglass 1/4 by the way, but I'll leave it up to you guys to justify which of the looks you guys enjoy. So I'll make assumptions based on what I see in the camera screen, but ultimately I'll leave it up to you. For the settings, I'll be shooting in classic chrome on the XT5 with a 10 to 18mm f2.8 lens, and I'll also shoot on the 16 to 55 Fuji lens to grab an idea of the other focal lengths that you guys might try on. Now just a note, I can only compare the 77mm threads with this lens, but the 10 to 18 will have examples of all of it. So this would be a 10mm, 12mm, 14mm, 16mm, 18mm. So let me know which ones you guys like. Now we have the 10 to 18 Sigma f2.8. This one is the Glimmerglass 1. 67mm filter thread. Right now we're at f16 plus 0.3 classic chrome. Has 10, 12, 14, 16mm, 18mm. Tiffen Promist, 10mm, 12 Black Pro Mist, 14, 16, and 18. Now we're gonna put the Glimmerglass 1/4, the 77mm one, which I stepped up. So there, that's 10mm, 12. Then we go to 14, 16, 18. So the everyday filter reduces it by a stop, so we got a 10mm, 12, 14, 16, and then 18. Now we'll put in the mist just to see, like the 1/2, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So I'm gonna stack this one just for fun, just to see. There's some vignetting already, obviously. So excuse the ragged look. This is the Tiffen Glimmerglass 1/4 at 16mm. So full frame equivalent would be around 24, 25. So just look at this I'll leave the scene now. And then this would be at f11, 23 millimeters. $35. And then this would be 55. So now I'm gonna switch this one with a the Pro Mist, the everyday Pro Mist. Now this would be the everyday Pro Mist / CPL. So one thing is that it did decrease it by 1 stop, so I'm gonna stop down. F10. Actually, it's around 1 to 2 stops, or just 1 stop. So there, that's 16. And then this should be 23. This should be 35. And then this should be 55. Do it again, 16, 23, 35, 55. Now I'm going to put the 1/2 Pro Mist. This would be the 1/2 Pro Mist every Shortstache filter. So this is the 16, 23. From what I can notice is just that there's more halation in that area. And also it's appearing in the zebras more now. 35. I can see like this area is also looking a little bit more faded. 35, 55. Let's do it again. 16, 23, 35, 55. Now just for fun, I'm gonna stack this with this, so it will effectively be an ND filter. So 2 CPL filters are an ND filter, so it's gonna stop it by a couple. So, but we'll see how the mist goes. So I'm gonna bump it up. There. So I'm at 1.3 exposure right now. 1.3, 1, 1.5, and this is, we'll keep it at +1. This is 16, 23, 4, 35, as I've done this filming thing a little bit more time, I've just gravitated towards a more minimal look. There was one time I had the Nissi 1/8 Black Pro Mist. I think it was an off filter. It was just too much for a 1/8. And if you guys have experience using diffusion filters, 1/8 should be one of the weaker options, but that one was just too much for me. And it's just about finding which ones of these work well with the focal ranges that you have. I am gravitating more towards Glimmerglass, specifically Glimmerglass 1 and 1/4 over the other ones. But it's not like I'm not gonna use them. I bought them already, so they're gonna be there. Another note that I wanted to make as well is that with the Shortstache filter, it does reduce the stop by 1, so that might be either a good or bad thing for you depending on how you like to shoot. Maybe you have a camera that or a lens that shoots low light better, so maybe you need an extra stop. So it's really dependent, but for me it's a bit of a disadvantage if I put it on my Fuji lens. They're not really that good in low light, so I need to compensate a little bit. So anyways, these filters are just options for you to either stylize your videos or just make your videos look a little bit more less, if you get what I mean. Or you can do this all in post-production, which is extremely possible now with all the simulations and all the halation that you can possibly do. There's just a different thing that interacts with these, but ultimately it's still good.